All right, hello traders. It is Monday, June 3rd, 2024. We are now into June. Wow, 5 months have gone by. We're sitting here in June, so excited for what's going to happen in June. Overall, interesting day in the markets, but up fractionally maybe on the session. I think the S&P was up maybe $6 on the day. Really nothing, pretty flat day overall. We did well today, and I'm going to cover that. We got June running off to a fantastic start. So let's just get into it, and we'll spend some time there. And if you want, we'll take a look at some charts. But let's just get right into the actual account itself. And here's what we're doing. Let me get off the screen. All right, here's what we did on the session today. So we, again, ended the month with a good month. In May, up 22,152 bucks, 4.3% month. That was nice. But what's even nicer is the fact that we are off and running in June. So we ended the day today 531 on the delta, so 0.11, so fairly delta neutral, not too bad. Theta was 1683 for a 0.34 theta, which is pretty nice. So we'll take that. We didn't really add anything. Well, I'll take that back. We did add a little bit, and we made some moves today. Then we ended the day net lick-wise. This is the Income Navigator portfolio. This particular account is up a little bit more today. So another new all-time high. Awesome. 502,345 on this account. Again, we started this account at 30K about 5 years ago. So we're really cranking in this account. And then BP usage here at the end of the day today ended up at 365, 283 when we subtract our bill ETF, which is our Treasury bills ETF, that we put 10% of our net lick worth of margin into. So that 10%, we take that off of there, and we're sitting at 62.68%. So again, we're over our 58% mark, or I'm sorry, our 50% mark, which means technically really no new trades. We did violate that a little bit today because we did put a campaign trade on, but we also took some trades off and made some moves. But for the most part, we're sticking to it. We're not going to put any other types of trades on, but we wanted to stick to the campaign trade. And I felt that sitting around 60%, we could do that. Normally, though, I won't add any trades, but I will try to keep the campaign trades going, and we'll let some things come off. And the reason also for the increase in buying power today, a lot of that is due to oil. So oil had a pretty awful day today, dropping significantly on the session. And if we look, oil BP-wise has ballooned up to about 32% of our account. So most of that, again, was the increase in buying power today as the IV and oil moved up quite a bit. So IV and oil up on the session. We'll talk about oil in a little bit, but mainly the production cuts that you saw, they're going to expire so that some of the OPEC nations can start to crank a little bit more, and that, of course, knocked down prices on the day. We did manage to book $4,625 today. Pretty basic trades, but I'll get into that on it. Mainly just a couple rolls and a 0 DTE trade. So if we look at the month of June, the XL112, which is a brand new style trade, that XL112, we booked 4,275 bucks from that particular trade, and we also booked $200 in 0 DTE trades. Just a simple call credit spread today. It was a pretty easy trade, and we just booked the $200 winner there. So we're in good shape there. Let's take a look at what we did. So overall, here's the trades on the day. If we take a look, and we can really, let's move this line over so you can delineate a little bit of what's going on in June versus the rest of the thing. So we did close a naked put in Boeing today. And the reason we did this was This particular trade really didn't fit our trading style. I was trying to get another account ramped up to do some trades in the active trader service, and we did put Boeing on here. It's not that it's not a great trade for here, but we certainly made 10% in 70 days, 3.6% return on our cash. So we made a little bit of money, made $150, but it really just didn't fit the account, so I moved it out. We did roll some short puts of the PDS up 150 points and booked some profit there. Booked $2,500 in profit on an XL112. And then we also rolled the naked puts up a little bit on that, booked another 1,725. So just on this trade alone, 42.75 is what we made. And then there's the call spread on the 0 DTE. So overall, nice little day, 46.25 on the session. So got June off to a great start. Where are we sitting right now? Again, new all-time highs. This particular account's up to $502,000. We are averaging roughly 4% a month. So we are on track for a roughly 50% year. It's early. Lots of things can happen. We can go down, we can go up, but we have now broached the 20% up for the year. So we're up 20% on the year with realized gains. The S&P is up about 12%. So we've almost doubled the S&P on the year in the first 5 months. Our net lick itself is up 18% overall. Things are looking pretty good, like where we are. And if we're taking a look just briefly at our net lick growth, we started the year about 395, and we're all the way up to 500,000 and change. So we're up 86,493 as far as realized gains go in the account. So realized gains, $86,000. But the net lick, now we did add $30,000 into this, but net lick is up almost 77,000 or something like that for the year. So pretty happy with where we are in this particular account. We're here to generate income, and we're working pretty well. All right, just to take a quick look too, if we look at the 0 DTE trades with the add of today's trade, we are now 38 out of 41. There's something off here, just a tad. 38 wins, 3 losses. I don't think we have 3 losses. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Maybe we did take a 3rd loss back here. So maybe that's right. So 3 losses, but still you're looking at 38 out of 41 trades on 0 DTE. So 38 divided by 41 puts us at 93%. So we're 93% win rate on 0 DTE this year, which is fantastic. We don't trade them every single month, but we've been doing pretty well. In fact, we have not had a loser since February. So we've now had, right now we're into the 4th straight months without a loss on 0 DTE trade. So our plan works pretty well. And if you want to follow that, you can join Active Trader, and that's where I post my 0 DTE trades. I also put on I didn't record it in here, but I took a small winner on a put butterfly 0 DTE trade on ES today. So I made 100% on that trade, small trade, like a $100 winner, just to test some things out. So anyway, XL112 trade on the books, already booked $4,200 in profit on that in the first 30 days alone. So we are off and running in this account. So let's take a quick look at the markets and see what's going on out there. All righty, so here's where we are on the market, and we're looking at ES, and right now ES is up just fractionally in the after hours trading. So we're up a couple bucks here, but you can see, we had dropped significantly down, recovered on the session, and finished pretty much break even on the day. Nice reversals both Friday and today. So I think that's overall a fairly positive positive look on the E-minis here. All right, oil. Oil was a big down day today, so this is really where where things struggled a bit on oil. Sure, there we go. Let's just keep it looking right. So here's look at this day on oil. So down pretty substantially today on oil. So breaking, we've already broken down below the 50 and the 21, and we just continue to fall lower and lower. Big day today with that OPEC news. If we take a quick look at it again, supply rising later again as they lift the restrictions on supply. So OPEC plans to restore crude productions. So that's where oil dropped significantly on the session. Didn't really hurt us at all. We've got a naked put in there down at 67. That thing's fine. It's up 30%. We've also got a 112 trade. That thing's pretty much just break even. We're not in the trap at all yet, but maybe we will be. We do have a naked put. That thing's down a couple $100. And then we've got a strangle here, which is pretty much flat to down just fractionally on the sessions. We're down a little bit more here. So we're getting close to what looks like to me overbought territory. I think overall that's not a bad thing, and I think that sets up for some nice 112 trades potentially. Strangles are off the table. We're looking at 112 trades at this point on oil. If we take a look at gold and look at the gold futures, just this nice sideways move. Gold breaking the uptrend, but mainly breaking it sideways on the session. Nice little update today on gold. We're sitting here with a 112 trade that's up 95%. We've also got another 112 where we adjusted the put debit spread and already locked in profit when gold had dropped, which is great. And then we're sitting on some naked puts in gold that are doing okay, down $200 or something like that on this move lower. But I think overall you're holding above the 21 here on the daily, and you're well above the 21 here on the weekly. So I think overall, even though the weekly is a bit more kind of bearish looking with MACD, I think it looks decently here on the daily. I would not consider strangles yet, but I think you could start to put some of those on deck. Bonds, fantastic day today. If we extend our channel here, we start to break above this channel. Now, all kinds of stuff is now happening. This is the VWAP, the anchored VWAP that dates back to this previous low back here, this orange line that we get into on the VWAP, and that's exactly where we topped out today. So we came up, okay, we failed at it twice here, or failed at it back here, and then we hit it today. So we're struggling to get through this VWAP. If we can break through it, I think things look good for bonds. MACD's rising, RSI's rising, the weekly's rising as well. So I think bonds look good. Still one of my very favorite trades. We've got strangles in here, which are doing great. We've got 112s in here that we've already booked the naked puts. And then we've got also naked puts in here way down at 105, doing very, very well. So bonds, I like where we are. I think on this move, let's see what happens in the next day or so. But this thing is really setting up for some pretty nice looking trades. You still have some opportunity for strangle, but if we start to really break out to the upside, strangle won't be your best play anymore. Copper futures, copper not quite sold off enough on the weekly yet, but the daily has broken the 21, holding above the 50 for now. Not the worst looking trade. I think you could probably put on some kind of a 112 in copper. NASDAQ, pretty much the same thing as ES, still looks bullish enough to be pretty viable. And then RTY, I really love this sideways consolidating action. I think a strangle in here sets up really well. You're right at the 21, perfectly in between the three ATR bands. I like it. You got a bit of a bearish tint on the weekly, a little bit of a kind of a bullish to sideways tint here. I think RTY sets itself up for a strangle in here. And then if we look at live cattle, nice reversal move on the session today, fell down, came back up, stayed at the 21. Still a really perfect setup, I think, for a strangle in live cattle. I think you could also, depending on volatility, you could put a 112. We're sitting on a 112 that's up 67% already in this. So there we go. Good idea to see what everything was doing today. If we look at some of the bigger stocks, Apple up decently on the day while Microsoft dropping. Bulls keep rallying this thing. Bears just don't have enough to keep pushing it a whole lot lower from here, which might be a bit of a bullish sign. We'll see. Amazon rallied a little bit today after pretty good sell-off the last 3 weeks. So Amazon picking up here. Google bouncing off the 21. This looks really nice on the daily chart. I think a nice swing trade setup is in order. NVIDIA back close to highs. You're ready to potentially break to new highs. This thing looks pretty good. Tesla, a little bit of weakness today, but overall, it's pretty doggone flat. You could probably put strangles on in this. We have some trades going on in active trader right now. So in active trader, we're in Tesla right now. So I do have a put credit spread going on in Tesla. We also, well, let's take a look at Meta real quick. Meta had a decent day to the upside, 2.2%, moving above the 21 and the 50 today. RSI rising, the weekly looking pretty flat to decent. So I think you could get a move on Meta here. We are sitting in, let's just jump into a couple of the trades that we're in the active trader service. We're sitting in Boeing, this thing, which we closed out for a win in Income Navigator. We're sitting in Boeing. We put this trade on today. So we put on a put credit spread in Boeing, a little bit of different tact. We'll be covering this in a video with our members on Wednesday. So we have I'm not a fan of the wheel, as you know, but I do like the covered strangle. It's not the exact same as the wheel. Typically what happens with the wheel is if you get assigned, the stock is falling. And then if you get called away on your calls and you're back out of it, as long as you didn't take a loss, okay, you're getting out of stocks that are rallying. But anything that you're still holding on to that doesn't hit the calls because it's been falling, yeah, you're making money on the calls and you're reducing your cost basis, yada, yada, yada. That's all great. But essentially, you're just stuck holding dogs in that strategy. So it's why I don't really like the wheel. However, I do understand that people can make money on it. It's just not my favorite. But I have a different version of how we trade that. And I do like the covered strangle. And I don't use naked puts and naked calls to run my version of the wheel. I'm using credit spreads. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. If you're a member in the service, that'll be on Wednesday. We'll go through that strategy. But we do have Boeing as one of those particular trades. Right now, we're also sitting in coin. So we're sitting on a trade in coin here, which looks pretty decent on both the, really the weekly and the daily. We're holding the VWAP back in here. That's holding up. We could probably pull that thing back out. Coin, that trades up 30% now in 6 days on coin. So fantastic. We are also sitting in Palantir. So there's a stock you don't see us trading too much, but in the active trader, we do. So in Palantir, we're into this stock. We are using a naked put in here. This one's down fractionally with the drop today. Pretty good drop in Palantir today. It's not the greatest looking stock. I don't love Palantir. Everybody on the internet's trading this thing. I don't know why. It's a dog. But I do like the fact that it's just sideways here, and we'll try to make a little money in the active trader service. We are also in end phase. Let's take a quick look at end phase here. Let's move this thing up. Okay. So on end phase here, this thing has been a great looking stock recently. We're up 30% in 5 days on this stock. So you can see the moves that this thing has been making. Great shape on this one. We've got a naked put up 30%. Here, we're also in AMDL with a bit of a covered right on this one. We are pretty much just break even down fractionally in AMDL. And then we're also sitting in Shopify. So Shop, just to kind of show you this one, we're sitting in Shop. This is another naked put trade that we're in. It's up 47% in 5 days. It's been a great trade for us. I expect that if we get any kind of an increase tomorrow, this thing will close for a 50% winner in about 6 days. So fantastic. We have had a really good run in our trades in the active trader service. So if you're looking for that steady, consistent, compounding growth, okay, that's maybe a little less exciting, Income Navigator is for you. That is where we are pounding. I mean, I don't know how it's not exciting to be up 20% in 5 months. Okay, anybody is not in there. There's hardly any mutual funds hitting that. The S&P is only up 11%. Okay, we're up 20%. So there's nothing wrong with that. We've got great education, great help with your trading plans. We're trading multi-million-dollar accounts. We're trading $100,000 accounts, $500,000 accounts, and we're also trading $10,000, $20,000 smaller accounts in there for you. And we're going to help you put together a plan that makes sense for you, that's going to create consistent, repeatable income using strategies that are easy to implement and don't require you sitting in front of a computer all day. Again, you're up 20% in 5 months. We are on track for a 40% plus year. It's early. Lots of things can happen. Okay. But that's for you. But if you want to add a little bit more excitement to that, come join us in Active Trader. We're in there trading all kinds of different trades. We're scalping. So you've got Gabe, who's scalping futures on a daily basis. So he's in there and he's live in the trade room with that. You've got Gabe also trading broken wing butterflies on SPX, put flies, call flies, you name it. You've got Igor just put on some put spreads recently in UPS, Qualcomm, Netflix, PNC, Coin. He's got McDonald's bull combos. He's got call spreads in ADP, butterflies in MAR. So there's a lot of different things going on there. If you want more active trading, stock trades, specifically some scalping of futures, fantastic service. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there for you guys today. If you found this helpful, as always, go ahead and click that like button down below. We'd love to have you help us out, get the word out to more people. Come join us in Income Navigator. Consistent, mechanical, repeatable income generating 20, 30, 40%, 80% in 2022 returns on the year. An active trader for those of you that want that more active, I got to trade it now, swing trading type of style. You can join in there as well. Either one will work for you. We'll see you later. Take care. Stay safe in the markets. We'll see everybody. Bye-bye.